everyone. Thank you for the nice invitation of the Academy of a Cultural Diplomacy. And thank you for your coming today, even Berlin, no transportation, but thank you for your coming. Happy to be in Berlin today about this presentation. As you see the title, Music as Cultural Diplomacy, who is SEPO? So it's Syrian Expat Philharmonic Orchestra. It's a symphony orchestra for Syrian professional and academic musicians who live in Europe and diaspora. We started 2015, and now we played already in most of European countries. And we performed, of course, classical music sometimes, but we focus about Syrian symphonic music. Because we studied in Syria classical music, of course, and orchestral instruments. We have just one high institute of music in Syria, so all the Syrian musicians know each other already. So when we started, we feel like home because we know each other. We played already together in Syria and out of Syria. So I think some of us came to Europe by visa. They are lucky like me. But some of them, they came by sea from Syria to Turkey, by sea, then to Greek and Europe, you know. It's dangerous trip, and finally they are here. They come back to their instruments and for their profession in this orchestra for symphonic music. That's mean like hope for them, and also hope for the refugees and newcomers, even in Germany or Europe or around Syria, because they can understand that we can continue this life, even we have death and destroy and everything. Because we are here, and we come back to our instruments and to play again. We started from zero, but we have our profession and dreams, and everyone, of course, we play together in this orchestra, but everyone live in different city and different country in Europe. Everyone has his project, or he is a student, continue his study in high Hochschule für Musik or music for, and some of them teachers or members in orchestras in Europe. They do something for your new society. This like cultural bridge about what they have from the academic study and their Oriental background of music. So in the orchestra, we do that mixing between what we studied, like European classical music and symphonic forms, like concerto, sonata, symphony, etc., and between the Oriental elements about harmony. We have quarter tones, about tempos. We have different kinds. So also Oriental instruments like canon, all the Oriental percussions, oud and nai, these instruments. So we try to mix them to represent the Syrian ID and in general Arabic or Oriental. In the same time, we try to always make cooperation between the Syrian orchestra and the European orchestras, like projects with German orchestras or Belgian orchestra, Polish orchestra, many projects. And this, how we can make program between classical music and Syrian symphonic music. For example, we can now hear something. Of course, you can make search more about to listen more music in YouTube. We have some materials. But now we can listen one piece. We did it in Berlin between around 60 Syrian musicians from all over Europe and America and Canada, and with 70 musicians from Berlin with different nationalities, cultural backgrounds, and we play together. We are around 130 musicians. Because we don't have a lot of time, maybe we can hear part of this music to get an idea about how Syrian symphonic music and how we can play together Syrians with European. Sorry. So this, thank you. This concert was in Berlin, 2017, in concert house. No, it was in Odika concert hall. This work also used for a film, for a movie, and by the Syrian woman composer Suad Boshnak. She lives in Canada. So as you see here, every Syrian sit with musicians from Berlin, different nationalities, and symphonic, European symphonic form, but like Syrian melody, and this a lot of emotion pictures, and you can, some of the audience, they start to cry, and they just can draw in their mind some pictures about what they feel in this music. Uh, maybe we can start questions and answers. If you have some questions, how we can start this orchestra. As I told you, in 2015, I started this project. I started to contact my friends by Facebook because it's difficult to find them by emails or by phones, everyone in different place. Then I urged them and told them about this project. Some of them, they say, right, this is very big dream, impossible to do it, don't think about that. Some of them, yes, good idea, we can start, blah, blah, blah. For this project, we work with around 100 musicians in Europe, most of them in Europe, some of them in America and Canada. Between musicians, composers, solists, etc. And then, first meeting, we, like 5 or more, we didn't see 5 years or more, we didn't see each other. And then we meet first time and we feel like home, like we come back to Syria. Because, you know, we have 100 Institute of Music, as I told you, and we know each other. So like we are big family. And our age between like 20 and 40, 45. And yeah, we didn't believe that we are together. And we start to rehearse about classical music and Syrian symphonic music. We work with also some German musicians. And then we didn't accept. The plan was one concert per year, but then we had many invitations from Europe. We start to work. This is how we can start. And we say, okay, we will not we will not forget that we have war in Syria, but at the same time we will focus how we can give hope for newcomers and refugees, and how the media, every day we can see in the media they news about Syria, blood, suffering, kill each other, war, blah, blah, blah. And how we can give another picture about Syria. Most of the people, they don't know that in Syria we have like culture or orchestra, or they don't have any idea about that. For example, when I was in the refugees home, I meet the refugees from Afghanistan. And when I was in Syria, I always see Afghanistan in the news. They kill each other and they wear different clothes, and this is what I thought Afghanistan. And in the refugees camp, I see Afghani people, they are like us, they wear the same clothes, they talk in English, like everyone, like every human. And I say, you are like us. He say, yes, of course, we have cities, we have schools, we have universities, and we study everything. So sometimes we get wrong ideas about different people, different countries, just because we don't have a chance to meet them. This music make really great bridge between Syrians and their new society in Europe or in any place in the world. Even in the Syrian kitchen, shawarma, prosted, these things make also friends, how they can eat together, how they can talk about their families, about their dreams, how they would like to save their children to another safe place, how they can live together, leben zusammen. So maybe we can hear another music. It's named My Beautiful Homeland. And this music taken from a very famous melody in Arabic world about nostalgia, the first love, memories. And here my brother, he is a concert master. he arranged it for symphony orchestra. And this project here now, we hear it was mixed between SEPO and Belgian National Orchestra. Also, we play with Belgian musicians, classical music like Puccini, Verdi, and also Syrian composers' music. Enjoy. Maybe no internet anymore.
Will happen the same. Wait a minute. Yeah, I very kindly I will do like Steve Jobs did in 2007 when he introduced the demo of the iPhone, and this is true. You can check it in YouTube. I will ask to the audience very kindly to disconnect the Wi-Fi, especially the ICD Academy too. Even Apple did that, so we can do that. So.
Okay, no problem. Maybe no good Wi-Fi. Okay. So, thank you for your listening. If you enjoyed, you can listen more on YouTube about SEPO music. And
I have a question.
yes.
About correctly, it was a mixture again between European and Arab musicians. And what struck me about it was there was improvisation. And there was improvisation within the classical music. And talking to some people from the audience afterwards, they said that European music used to have the improvisational element, and then at some point they introduced the conservatoires and they stopped improvising. And I would like to ask you whether improvisation is intrinsically part of Syrian music, and whether you think that's something that's going to influence European music more through the work of the SEPO Orchestra.
Yes, of course. Improvisation is part of the Syrian music, even Syrian symphony music. And in this concert house Berlin, also you heard a work for any instrument. It was clarinet by Raed Jazbeh and orchestra. So how they can improvise with written music in the same time. So, and as you see now here, he played violin, but in Oriental way, so not in like in classical way, and with Oriental percussions, but the same European symphonic form. This what I can do, how we can introduce the Syrian idea of music and culture in the orchestra. And yes, so I think I did when I was in Syria, I did also a workshop with a German Baroque music, and he said the same, that before Baroque or before improvising was part of the European music, and then they, step by step, they lose it. So now they would like to come back for that, and very close for the soul of music between Grigori music in Europe and Oriental. So yes, now we can start questions. The first question?
How is it funded? Where does the
okay.
money come from, and how is it managed? Who
Okay.
and where?
Okay, very nice question. This is one of the most difficult thing for the orchestra, because we have zero funding, zero budget. But when we have invitation, they cover all the cost of the travel from all over Europe. We need like 3-4 days rehearsals before the concerts, renting concert hall, rehearsal hall, big instruments, accommodation, payments, etc. So when we have invitation, they cover all these costs. So this is why now we cannot plan our concerts. We always have to wait some invitation to be able to meet together or make cooperation project with other orchestras or festivals and to play. How we manage that? I work for this project like 80% of this work. I have some friends who help me for to do some things, but most of the work I do it by myself. Sometimes I don't sleep, just because this very big project. It's need like culture, Ministry of Culture, or need like a government, or need big funding, or from the association to work for these composers, festivals, musicians, solists, etc. So it's really hard work, but I always ask myself, I have to stop? No anyone care if I stop working for this project or not. If I stop, then no anyone will hear about this orchestra and this music, and we cannot do this bridge between Syrian music and European society. And I say, okay, I have to continue this project. This is the life, tiredness and happiness. And yeah, this is the result. Yes, please.
Yeah, my question.
Sorry.
Hi.
Hi.
I was just wondering whether you are able to draw a parallel between what this beautiful music that you just played for us can do in terms of sort of solving conflicts, let's say, in Syria. I say so because I'm coming from Zambia, I'm coming from an African state, about 17 million people. But in the past, we had lots of pockets of violence in Africa, and we also had encroachments of apartheid, and I know that music played a huge role in ensuring that things out of growth, people like Puma Sekela who would come up and sing, bring back Nelson Mandela, and they influenced the youth outside the exile. But the music reverberated so much that one would not. In Zimbabwe, it's the same thing. People like Bob Marley saying, liberate Zimbabwe. I was just wondering, the conflict has been going on. Asking a fair question from about 2011. Is there a role that you see to be music playing in bridging that much needed gap to ensure that there is a eventual peace? Because music knows no boundaries at all. Like the example you were giving, in a refugee camp, you don't see the difference between the brother from Afghanistan, you don't see the difference between the brother from Syria. It's the same with music. When I listen here, me speaking for myself, I think we all felt captivated. Do you think there is a role that this beautiful music can play to ensure that the eventual peace in that country? Because
Thank you. I hope I understand your question very well. You know, the rule of people who work in culture and music and art, what they can do. In this orchestra, we have different ideologies about what now happen in Syria, in politics or religion, etc. But we focus together, even if you have different ideologies, how we can make something together, how we can unite, how we can hand by hand to do something. And this is our profession. That's what the most thing we can do now to step this phase of our life in Syria or anywhere in the world. The history of symphonic music in Syria started very late in the last century with some composers, like 4, 5, 6 musicians. Most of them, they live out of Syria, like the composer Nouri al-Ruhaibani live in Germany. The great soloist François Rabat in France, in Paris. So they started to compose for symphonic music. And in Syria, we started the first High Institute of Music 1990. So it's like 30, 40 years ago. It's not so much. And from this step, the musicians started to study the music and play in symphony orchestra and compose for symphonic music. And because they have Oriental, Syrian, Arabic background, they mix it with their music. Of course, during these 8 years of war, many ideas came about the kind of music, the pictures, the feelings. Of course, this we can see it very clearly in the titles of the pieces or in the music we hear. But in general, they started that since 1990 until now, and we have like not so much composers, but what I can see for this project, you know, I don't know it in English what's its name, but when you have like oil, we have gold in the country, so this like something very important. And sometimes you do work because this country has gold or oil or blah, blah, blah. So I think these musicians, they are gold. They are very important. Why? Because before the war, Syria was 23 million people. We have just one high institute of music. And now we have around just 100 musicians who can play orchestral instruments and compose for symphonic music. And in Syria, we have also around 100. Can you imagine? 23 millions? Now, many people die already, so now we are less. But I mean, very little number. For example, in Germany, every city has Hochschule für Musik and has an orchestra. So in Syria, we have one orchestra and one high institute for music. So this is why I said I have to continue in this project, because they are very important. They are like gold. They are like oil. We have to save them. We have to. Every human is important. But I mean, for Syria, these musicians, for me, as my eyes can see, they are very important, and we have to support them to continue their projects, dreams, compose music, save the heritage. Everything now destroyed in Syria. So at least we save the Syrian heritage in the music and culture. So thank you very much, and thanks a lot. You can see some documentaries about SEPO in Google. Just Google it with Arte, with Deutsche Welle, or in YouTube. And I hope soon we have a concert in Berlin and meet again. Have a nice day.